Hey guys, it's me, Ben Hall, back with another quick review for you, this time for The Flame in the Flood, developed and brought to Xbox One and PC by a small independent team called the Molasses Flood, which consists of veteran developers from franchises such as Bioshock, Halo 2 and Rock Band, so they know what they're doing. And also another game that initially started off as a Kickstarter success story, and that's brought it to fruition onto the console and PC. Now, The Flame in the Flood, the big thing going for The Flame in the Flood is basically this is a roguelike survival game, but it's got this beautiful, evocative art style combined with a stunning soundtrack from people such as Chuck Reagan and other well-known artists as well pop up throughout. And it's sometimes when the music hits at certain moments when you're traveling down this river, it's amazing. It's just breathtaking. The Flame in the Flood is a very simple concept, basically. You're this young lady, and you team up with a dog, and you basically have to survive a trip downriver in a post-societal America, which has suffered this severe flooding. I'm guessing the sea level has risen and swallowed up a large portion of the landmass. So basically, you're traveling downriver as you go through different biomes and different areas, and you're scavenging and having to balance things like your food, your health, your all kinds of things, the materials for your raft, and upgrading the raft so that you can make it down the river in the trickiest sections and things like that. Now, in a way, it's very reminiscent for me of Don't Starve. Now, obviously, Don't Starve doesn't have the river mechanic, but the things to do with the crafting and the survival aspects, and actually even some of the sound effects in The Flame in the Flood, which I feel like it must have been intentional. Like the sounds of the rabbits in The Flame in the Flood are very similar to those in Don't Starve, if not the same sound effects. I think that must have been a deliberate homage, and it's kind of quirky, and it shows you those similarities. Now, this art style, like I mentioned, I absolutely love it. The only thing I don't like is the look of Pilot herself. I'm not such a fan of the art style of the faces. Now, I understand they're going for this almost Tim Burton-esque, dark, twisted world, and you'll meet other characters along the journey as well and have conversations with them, but I'm not necessarily a big fan of how the character models look. I think the world looks stunning, and the river sections are beautiful and very powerful. They give you these moments of almost downtime, because all you're doing is navigating the river, and you're thinking about, where do I go next? Do I go to the camping ground and like get some sleep? Do I go to a wilderness area and hope to scavenge some stuff? Do I go to a rundown town area and hope to pick up some medical supplies? Each of these different areas will offer different challenges and different threats, and the threats in this game are myriad. I have died from everything from sepsis to wolf attack to bear mauling. You name it, you're going to die, and you're going to die a lot in Don't Starve. Now, that's the point. It is a survival game. It is a roguelike. And you're challenging yourself at all times as you play this game. The only issue I have with it is that it doesn't maybe make me want to replay the game as much as, say, something like Don't Starve. I found it very challenging and very bleak at times, and that's obviously intentional. And you feel so alone, but it doesn't have the whimsy of a game such as Don't Starve, which is probably its closest equivalent on consoles right now. It doesn't have that whimsy of the art style and of the kind of the narrative framing. It just feels very serious. Now, there will be moments of levity, and certainly when you meet certain characters and stuff like that, it does bring some levity. And obviously, giving you the dog companion is to make it so you don't feel completely alone and completely by yourself. But there's quite a few menus and stuff in Don't Starve which you have to navigate through, crafting and all kinds of elements like that. So it can be quite bewildering what the amount of things to do. But obviously, it's one of those games of roguelike. Right at the top of the game, a lot of stuff is explained to you, but not all the way in depth for every element. But, as you play it and subsequent playthroughs, you're going to pick up crafting and you're going to understand things a little bit more about how to do things. And things will become clearer, and it will become easier, and you'll get further and further down river until, in the story mode, for example, you actually get all the way. I'm not sure exactly how I feel about Flame in the Flood. I love how it looks. I love how it sounds. I understand the gameplay choices. I love my time on the river. I'm not such a fan of just the vibe it sometimes brings across. I feel it's just a tad too bleak. So because of that, it kind of balances out for me. It's a personal impression, but that's what a review is. So I give The Flame in the Flood 7 out of 10.